I normally get a phone call after someone's died.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. That's typically the most urgent. I got a call in October of last year from here in the U.S., a national company that does truck repair. And they've like, hey, we've had 3 fatalities this year, 2 in the last week, an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old. We need your help.
Welcome to Profits to the Profits podcast, where all things are possible when love is your bottom line. All are welcome here, entrepreneurs, business professionals, tradespeople, the gaudy, the haughty, and even the naughty. Doesn't matter. Just give us 20 minutes and we think you just might get something out of it. I'm Steve.
And I'm Al.
And we're joined here in the studio by Bobby Lanyon. Al, introduce our guest here real quick.
Bobby Lanyon is the president and CEO of AIG Safety.
Yep.
He is also the man with the biggest servant heart I've ever met.
Awesome. So we're going to get a great conversation with Bobby going here in just a few minutes. And if you want to just get right to that, you just go to the 5-minute mark and you'll be on your way. He's going to share some very powerful stuff with us today. But before we get there, I want to ask you guys a question. Expiration dates on food. Do they bother you at all? Like if you have milk in the fridge and it's like after the date or even on the date or getting close to the date, how do you handle that? Let's start with Bobby.
The milk, you do the sniff test. It's just the sniff test. Give it a shake. Give it a sniff, and if it's good, then you're good to go. Candy, probably not. Probably don't worry about the expiration date.
No, not candy.
Unless it's the Himalayan salt. You know, it's on the label. It says 2 million year old salt that expired last week.
Yeah. I mean, it's salt, right?
It's you got to check those expiration dates.
Really? Okay, so you're saying if you have milk and it's past its expiration date, you're good just shaking it up and smelling it and say, okay, I'm good to go.
Well, if it smells good, yeah.
Oh, really?
I did the shake test this morning.
Okay, really?
Yeah. Because it was near the bottom, and I was like, I don't know how long it's been in there for. We just got back from vacation, too, so I wasn't really sure how long it had been in there for, but I still used it. It was fine. But yeah.
What about a week? Like a week after the expiration date, even if it smells okay, you're still going to drink it?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay.
This guy, dude, I tell you. So I'm a recovering germaphobe, okay? And throughout the whole, I didn't eat leftovers. That's how bad, like expiration date, even for leftovers, my wife and I would argue. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it, right? And I saw throughout 24 years of marriage, 7 children, kids licking and eating things that did not kill them, okay? God has proven to me that you do not have to be as scared of things as I was. So right. I not only will eat leftovers, I will eat them the next week now, like with a sniff test.
Oh, yeah.
I came home after vacation, and there was some dinner still in there that I remember from a week and a half ago, and I'm like, I'm eating it, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was a midnight snack. So I'm on the same boat as you, dude, but I wasn't. I started off freaking out about everything,
if it's on the expiration date, I can't do it.
No?
Nope. But you'd be surprised because
I am surprised.
I don't wash my hands in the bathroom.
I know.
So.
Bobby, don't shake his hand.
Chime in.
She had told me that earlier.
Want everybody watching, just chime in. Like, what is your take on the expiration date? And finally, with all that, do you remember when we were kids? How old are you? About like 40?
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember when we were kids, like you'd buy a loaf of bread and like within 5 days it had green growing on it? Do you remember those days?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And milk, of course, it would last maybe a week.
Yep.
Now the expiration on milk is like 6 weeks out.
Oh, at least.
Or at least, right?
Yeah,
so
especially,
it makes you really wonder what they're putting in our food now.
See, I grew up in a time when if there was a little bit of green on the bread, you just cut that corner off.
Oh, come
No.
on.
Oh, cut that off, stick it in the toaster, and you're good to go.
People do that with cheese, and I can't do that even with cheese, even though supposedly that it makes the cheese better.
I was at a family party, and my uncle, he's originally from Mississippi area. So they buried meat in the ground to keep it cold. and same thing you said. They would cut off the rotten parts and eat the rest.
No.
And, I mean, you got to cook it, and you cook it thoroughly, but you didn't waste anything. Like and he told me that, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll eat leftovers. I think that was my first step, Uncle John, great guy.
All right. Well, that little conversation loosely brings us to the topic of the day. And the topic of the day is... a faithful journey. Unlike food, there is no expiration date with God. He is faithful to the end. And to share more about that business life, we're joined by Bobby Lanyon. He is an entrepreneur, CEO, chief servant of AIG Safety, a husband, a father, and a new friend of mine. Just met him, and I'm looking forward to getting to know more about you there, Bobby. Al, how long have you known Bobby here?
Oh, yeah, a dozen years, I would say. Because I remember I met you at, like, camp.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
No, this guy, you got bad timing. It was not 2 years ago.
Oh, it might have been more.
Well,
it could be my memory, but I do remember meeting you over an argument in a separate campsite that you had with your wife, and I was like, what's going on over there? Do we need an intervention?
You saved my marriage. That was definitely at least 5 years ago, 4 years ago. But I remember meeting you because you were involved. We go to a family campground regularly.
That's right. Now I do remember that.
You were involved in Word of Life.
I am.
And, which is a college, a missionary group. It's based in the Adirondacks. Plus, actually, they're in 80 countries. But
actually, 90-plus countries.
It's 90-plus countries?
Yeah, it's incredible. Word of Life has, just side note,
little
plug, shameless plug, 1,600 missionaries in 90-plus countries.
Wow.
Taking the gospel, partnering and serving churches all around the world.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's an incredible work of God.
And speaking of all around the world, what let you at home guess where Bobby's from?
He's got a New Jersey accent is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, perhaps.
Depends who you talk to. I've been asked if I'm from Texas. That was the craziest one.
I can hear it a little bit.
Yeah, you can?
Yeah, I can.
I still can't hear it.
Just a little bit.
He's from the South.
Yeah. I've had Massachusetts, Maine. I can understand that.
Well, tell us where you're from.
I grew up in Australia. I moved here to the U.S. When I was 20. Month before my 21st birthday because I got married on my 21st birthday.
Wow.
In Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
So, all right, So, Bobby, tell us, more about your travels and, where, what brought you here to Buffalo, where you're going and why you're going there.
Yeah, man, it's been an incredible journey. I've, my wife and I started AIG Safety almost 9 years ago. I was in the television world before that. Before that, I was actually with Word of Life as a staff member. I actually wanted to be a pastor of a church. Mm-hmm. That's where I really felt like the Lord wanted me to go. And he totally changed that through circumstances, which, we might be able to get into a little bit later. But it has to do with disability in the family. And then I decided to leave the corporate world wearing a suit and tie. Believe me, I wore a suit and tie every day, which was crazy. Now I don't even think I own a tie. But we thought that we started AIG Safety as a business that we wanted to leverage as an encouragement for people. Because we believe people are valuable, created by God. We believe business is also created by God. So we intentionally picked the safety industry as a tool where we could support businesses to be profitable, but also support businesses to keep their workforce safe.
Okay.
That's great. What a good mission. I didn't realize it was connected in that way.
Yeah, so our whole philosophy, and if I put it in my elevator speech, if you will, is to maintain, maximize safety while maintaining or increasing operational efficiency in the field and in the shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool. Now, I have to ask, and this might be appropriate though. You want to be a pastor, and now you're the owner and operator, CEO of a safety company in industrial safety, right? We're talking about industrial safety.
Yeah, mining, quarries, road construction, everything. Yep.
Was there something that drove you to be a pastor that you use in this world?
Oh yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. I mean, two fundamental beliefs is that people are created by God and immeasurably valuable. Mm-hmm. Life is valuable.
Yeah.
And life needs to be fought for, right? We want mums and dads. We believe in the nuclear family. We want mums and dads to go home to be great husbands and wives and great parents to their kids. Mm-hmm. So that's number one. And we believe that God created people for work. So work is to be productive, work is to be profitable. And those two, in the mining and in the road construction industry, the industrial civil industry, they're constantly fighting against each other. You know, businesses, these large businesses and international companies that we work with, you know, they're in business to make profit for their investors, for the stock market, and those kinds of 401ks. You know, like we all may have 401ks that have these companies in that portfolio.
True.
So they have to make a profit. But at the same time, they're people are actually the ones that are operating the equipment to dig the coal, the iron ore, the bauxite, the gold, whatever it is. And so we happen to be, my personal belief is that those two elements, safety and profitability, can co-function together.
Gotcha.
What are some of the industry hazards you most see in when you're working with companies that you try to help prevent?
I normally get a phone call after someone's died.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah. That's typically the most urgent. I got a call in October of last year from here in the U.S., a national company that does truck repair. And they're like, hey, we've had 3 fatalities this year, 2 in the last week, an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old. We need your help.
Whoa.
And that's the heavy part of it, because it's like, guys, we talked about this before this happened. Not saying that our products would have totally prevented that, but we really could have helped.
Yep.
And but that happens, you know. There was a mining accident. We literally had talked to a company 2 weeks before a guy fell off a D11 dozer.
That's a huge
and
dozer.
Was rolled over, you know.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, that's the level of seriousness and impact that we live in. So sorry to take that conversation deep and serious real quick, but that's the seriousness of where we can come in and say, hey, not only do we stop or prevent people from falling off equipment, twisting knees, you know, which a twisted knee these days is $80,000 ish to a company plus downtime, and the whole economics of injury is really where I love that concept of how do we make it a business decision to keep people safe, because the guys in the C-level suites and the CFOs, that's how they think. They think through the economics of a company where you've got safety guys that are just trying to do these table talks or these toolbox talks and stuff like that, and they're constantly, you know, trying to get at each other. This guy wants more technology and to slow the process down, where this guy's like, hey, the more we can pave in a night, the more profitable we are. So economics of injury.
They fight against each other.
They do, but they don't have to.
They don't have to.
They don't have to because, and again, it goes back to those biblical principles of business productivity is from God.
Yeah.
And lives are valuable from God. So they have to be able to work together. And I just think that we have that niche and we have that lane, and that's where we live in. And I just happen to think that we do it better than everybody else.
That is awesome. Here, it reminds me, like I always say sometimes to our team when they're getting too, I guess, nervous about like just normal work stuff. Hey, we're not saving lives, guys, here, but we really are. Or we're helping people go home to work. Like you said, you're saving a life or preserving a life, and they get to go home and be a dad or a mom or a husband or a wife or a friend or a son or a daughter. That's like what they get to do if your job works.
So tell us about your journey.
Yeah, so I came to know the Lord. I'm this thick in the head. I went to Bible school at Word of Life Bible Institute back in Australia when they don't have a college there anymore. But 6 months into that course is when I actually understood that I needed to make a personal decision to trust Christ as my Savior.
Really?
Which, 6 months, right? Like, that's halfway through. Like, this guy, he's got it together, you know. And then, long story real short, my wife was with Word of Life. She came over to Australia 3 years later. moved over here. We got married, and I did my second year at the Word of Life Bible Institute in the Adirondacks in New York, and then I worked on staff there for a couple of years, finishing my bachelor's degree in religion through Liberty University, thinking that we were going to go into the pastorate somewhere. My wife became pregnant with our second son, and I was doing a lot of traveling and speaking for Word of Life, and the Lord just led us to be like, hey, you know what? I think I want to go off the road. I think I just need to be a dad for a little while. We moved to the Lehigh Valley area in Pennsylvania, where my wife's family is from, and I just got a corporate job working in the television industry. But our son was born with Down syndrome. And I mean, if you've been to Word of Life, you know that it's 70 miles from Albany Med. I mean, it's a long way from a hospital. But without us even knowing prenatally that he would be born with an intellectual disability, the Lord had moved us, provide us with a 3-bedroom ranch home, a job with health insurance. I mean, it was the most. I look back,
the timing,
and it's a total God thing where people look back and be like, "Oh yeah, isn't it cool how it worked out?" I can literally tell you things that God had to do in order to take us to this point, where he would be in a NICU that was within 15 minutes of our home. My wife's parents and siblings were all around. They could help with our older son, and you know, even still today, we can look back and just see how God has orchestrated steps all the way along. I mean, our son Jack, who has Down syndrome, he actually just today we're recording this. It's his last day of 11th grade. He's a senior next year.
Wow.
You know, and it's incredible.
Way to go, Jack.
Yeah, congratulations.
So that's the journey that we've kind of been through. Is like every step of the way, God has literally made it so clear that sometimes afterwards, when you look back and you're like, oh, now I see it. Now I see it. Yeah. That's what God was doing all the way along. Yeah. And so that's the cool part. Like with circumstances, you know, we make choices every day based on the information and knowledge that we have.
True.
And we try as best as we can to allow God to work through us, to help us make decisions. But when you look back, you're like, okay, God, you were guiding those steps. You know, it's that Proverbs principle where the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Like a water course, he directs it where he pleases.
That's what I find is interesting about things like that. When you are running a business, if you can learn the hard way or the easy way, that everything comes from the Lord and his timing, and that would free you up, right, from like desperation. Because a lot of things are decided out of desperation when you are in extreme situations, and you become your own worst enemy sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you can just trust and acknowledge him in all your ways, right? Like that's what he's asking us to do. He makes our path straight, right? Like that's just the idea of working out, enduring suffering and building character and trusting in the Lord. And man, what a difference doing that versus not. You know, because I've had some years where I fought. You know, and I've acted in desperation, and, you know, it only came to my own ruin at that time. But by all means, it does build that muscle for you at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's that whole, one of the biggest principles that I feel like I keep coming back to in the last few years is that Philippians 4, don't be anxious for anything, but through everything, through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, ask for the stuff. And it goes back to, it's not our business. Really, we talked about the business is just a tool.
Yeah.
Right? It's not even ours. We don't own it. We just are stewards of it.
Yep.
And it's like that, you know, my wife and I were talking this morning. You know, I believe God's given me, you know, 2 talents, the 5 talents, whatever it is, that parable. And it's, you know, I need to, you know, God's given me that gift. God's given you that gift. I need to honor him.
Yep.
And I need to make that extra 2 or that extra 5, like whichever, you know. I don't want to be so proud to be like, God's given me 5 talents, guys.
Yeah. But no, I mean, stop there for a second. For those who don't know this parable, right? The story of like, here is the ruler, the king, the owner of the house going away and giving these talents to his, either servants, right? Taking care of what he owns, right?
Yep.
And he's giving you something to look after, right? And you mentioned 5 talents, and what you do with what he's given you, right? But in a way that like, hey, your master's coming back at this time. You probably should do something with it. Mm-hmm. He even in that story gives us an idea like what someone does with it, or maybe they just buried it. Mm-hmm. Oh, the very least was I just didn't want to lose what was given to me. And there was a blessing, an extra blessing given to the people that didn't just bury it, that did something with it, right? How does that relate? You're mentioning it, but how does that relate to?
How does that relate to business?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost, you could almost write and I'm sure someone has, a business book on that principle.
Absolutely.
Because if God has given you, first of all, gives you an idea, he gives you a passion, and you see something in a way that no one else can see it.
Yep.
And so you then, you go like all in on that entrepreneurial drive.
Yep.
Right. And then, if that's the talent, if you will, if we can, the analogy is going to break down at some point, but if you're all in that, and if you recognize that God is the giver of that passion, and God is the giver of the gift, and God is the giver of you to problem solve that, and to be a unique solution in the marketplace, then that's your 2 talents that you're turning around. You're not just burying it, because how many ideas have we had where we like, the guy that, could have started, the guy that could have started Facebook, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he could have started it, but he didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whatever.
At Harvard.
Yeah.
The guys, brothers or something.
Whether that's true or not. But, we have ideas that we don't take up on, and maybe we have missed opportunities.
No, you're right.
And maybe a final word from both of you, like anybody watching is thinking about starting a business. What a little bit of advice you have, specifically if they do have faith like we do?
You want me to go first? Or?
Yeah.
I would just say, don't be silly.
I was going to say, run.
We've got a dunk tank full of ice that we can cool you off.
Yes.
Oh, you got really encouraging people to start a business now.
Don't do it. No, I mean, honestly, I shared this over the last several months at different times during podcast worlds discussions. I almost got into business out of spite of my last employer, to be honest. You know what I mean? And when you do that, and not in a conscious way, just more of like, yeah, I'm going to do it better. You know what I mean? And God said, all right, go ahead, have fun with that, kind of concept. And the consideration of payroll, right? The little things that you just have to make sure happen because people's lives and families are counting on them, is almost too much pressure to make it worth it to do without relying on the Lord.
Absolutely.
I would say I could not imagine running a business with all of the complexity of it without knowing that I can rely on him and his plan, because the burden is too much. It wouldn't be enjoyable, to be honest with you. But when you show up as God has, graciously took me through this tutelage, of trying to be more servant-minded, more caring and compassionate, more selfless or humble about what he's provided, being a steward. All these things I've learned over years of time of him being gracefully teaching me. Okay, his burden is light. His yoke is easy. I get what that means now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of thoughts going through my head because, I can't keep a thought in my head for any more than 3 seconds anyway. But surround yourself with encouragers, because it's lonely. It's lonely at the top. It's lonely when you're putting in long hours. If you're married, you need to have a really good relationship with your spouse, because there are times when the pressure is too much to handle on your own, and you need a really understanding spouse. And I'm super blessed. My wife is just absolutely incredible. She's my biggest cheerleader, and we talk all the time like I'm going to battle today. You know what I mean? I'm going to fight for you.
Yeah.
And but you really need to, and this is something that I struggle with every day, is do what God has told you to do. Pray without ceasing, rejoice always, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. You know what I mean? Like the things that God has already told us to do in the Bible, we need to do those.
Yeah. Not just
because,
be hearers of the word.
Yeah,
but doers.
right, exactly. Because how can we expect God to honor a business when we're trying to do it our own way?
That even our mistakes, God works those out too. Like he makes our paths straight. Like you started your business out of spite, you said, right? And he's like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to fix that because I'm going to lead you down this path where that's going to actually be a valuable part of this story. Because you're going to share the story about the spite that you had with those that might also have spite in their lives. And so that even our mistakes and our shortcomings are part of his plan, which is awesome.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Right? And so he took the regret that we had away from us. We should, realize that.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, washed us clean. All right. You have a website?
AIGSafety.com.
Boom. There it is. Hold it up with me, Al. Oh,
Okay.
Computer.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, AIG. All right. It is time for our next segment, sir. And you know what that segment is?
Lunch.
Something fun.
So Al's going to buy you lunch, probably anyway. But if you win this, he'll buy you a nice lunch at a nice restaurant.
Ooh.
All right. So here's a fun game. Let's see who is closest to the following answers without going over. Okay. The first one to get 3, the closest, wins without going over. So number 1, here we go. How far away from Earth is the moon at its furthest point? In miles.
Oh, okay. In miles. 10 million.
10 million.
Man. 186. No, I'm thinking about the speed of light. 1.9 million miles.
1.9 million?
I have no idea.
You're both over. 252,000 miles.
That's it?
Oh, wow.
That's just, you could feel it going by.
Oh, my goodness. It moves the earth.
All right, 0-0.
Sorry.
Approximately how long is the Great Wall of China?
1,200 miles.
5,000 miles.
Al, you're the closest.
Look at you.
Woohoo!
13,000 miles.
13.
Who builds a wall 13,000 miles?
The guy's obsessed.
The Chinese.
The Chinese.
If you ask Donald Trump, I bet you say he built it.
Donald Trump.
It is huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
All right, how
really,
hot?
really big. Really big.
Number 3. So we got 1-0 now. How hot is the sun at its core in degrees Fahrenheit? This is all ChatGPT, so hopefully ChatGPT is right.
It's probably like a Kelvin number. Is it Kelvin or degrees?
Fahrenheit.
How about 10 million degrees Fahrenheit?
Well, we have to just be under, right? The closest but under?
Yeah.
Correct.
I'm going to start playing the game.
The price is right.
6,000.
6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. According to ChatGPT, 27 million degrees Fahrenheit.
Whoa.
I win again that one.
All right, Al's up 2-0. You better make a comeback there.
We did agree that if Al wins, he buys me lunch, but if I win, he buys me lunch, right? That's
Pretty much. Pretty much.
You guys are awesome.
All right. Got a fun one here. What year was the song Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi released?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I've got a number in my head.
It's 3-0 now.
I'm gonna think.
2-0
I'm gonna think 1989.
1989.
See, I was going to say 88,
Okay.
but let me go 1992.
And of course, this isn't being over because
Yeah.
it's just.
Yeah, the closest to it.
Okay, you said 89,
Yes.
and you said
92.
92. Okay. So, Bobby, you apparently are not a Bon Jovi fan. Al, you're the closest.
Was it 88?
1986.
86.
And Al remains undefeated.
Look at you. I
Nice job.
yeah.
Oh, awesome. All right, this was a great discussion. I really appreciate, you sharing your story about, your business and your home life and everything, your family. And Al, why don't you wrap it up here? What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts, when we take a look at how God has created us and moved us through life, right? There's no one story, right? All these different complex stories in life. And somehow he works even all of them out for good to those who love him
Yep.
and are called according to his purpose.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he involves us in loving others. I mean, you could see it through your story and how he even gave you passion and used it in a way when you thought it was going to go one way, it went another. I have that same type of thing happen in my life. I'm sure you have stories as well. And I think that's it. You're on a journey right now. You heard this message from Bobby today, and it's probably for a reason, and it's probably at the exact right time of your life you needed to hear it. So, give God the glory, and what shall it profit of the man
To gain the whole world.
but yet lose his own soul?
Prophets to the prophets, hear the call. Building up your life so you stay